is the trial of the century.
This is a trial about a sex trafficking enterprise that destroyed the lives of countless young women and girls.
Why would someone do this? When I think back to the girl I met in 1990, and if you told me this is where her story would end up, I wouldn't believe you.
She had this invisible butterfly net. And she would go out in the social scene in London and New York, and she would whisk her net and capture the beautiful people, the rich, the famous, the powerful people. It coated her, you know, with a veneer of respectability. But I don't believe the society people I know, whose names I can't even speak because they'd kill me, knew. We just didn't know. People weren't paying attention.
It was early one morning. A young woman with her stepmother came into my office and told me what was ultimately an incredible story about an operation where other young women were being recruited, as well as her, to be brought over to this mansion on Palm Beach Island. She told me that there was a wealthy gentleman that lived on the island that was willing to pay these young girls $200 to $300 sometimes to go and give explicit sexual massages. She was 14 years old at the time that the incident had occurred to her. Palm Beach Police Department gets word of what's occurring. And during that investigation, the police found literally tens of other girls who had been brought to the mansion and had been sexually abused. Young, very young girls.
I'm tired of feeling ashamed. And I know that I'm one of the lucky ones. I know that other people have had far worse. I was just a young girl with hopes and dreams, and I thought I could really make something of my life.
I was a young adult, stars in my eyes. I'm thinking that this is once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm to meet Miss Maxwell at her home. The outside is beautiful, and I thought, you know, wow. Ghislaine told me that I was going to go meet with her partner, Jeffrey. She looked right at me and said to me, make sure that you give Jeffrey what he wants.
I walked into the hotel room. I sat opposite him. I gave him my modeling book, and he looked through it, and he was like, wow, you have the most amazing figure I've ever seen in my life. But then his office phoned and said, pack your bag, we're going to the Caribbean. I assumed it was for a photo shoot. So I said immediately, yes. When I first arrived there, it was just me. I was staying in a small chalet by the pool. There was just pictures of naked girls everywhere. And there was a lot of naked pictures of Ghislaine around too. Well, when I first met Ghislaine, I was told that she was Epstein's girlfriend. Ghislaine was running the girls, and she'd also tell us when we had to go to his bedroom. And you couldn't say no. There was just no option. You didn't want to make them angry.
She set me up to walk myself to a predator's house where he assaulted me.
Things happened there that scared me so deeply that I can't even talk about them. There was something about the energy of a girl being scared that he liked. No one disobeyed Epstein. He took me to his office and he told me that a woman had accused him of rape, and he planted drugs in her apartment and had her sent to prison. And then he said that he had my family's name on a list. So I just did as I was told, because I was petrified of him, because of who he was.
So we reached out to the Palm Beach Police Department, and that's when things really began to take off. When they arrived at the home, there were numerous things that were missing, like security cameras and hard drives to computers. But there were certain things that they were able to find and seize. like phone books and message pads. Those message pads included numerous different phone calls to young girls who police knew were underage. Those types of things were hard evidence of what was going on in the home.
When Jeffrey Epstein died, that was really traumatic news for the women that I represented. They had hoped to see him in court, to see him charged with all of the crimes he had committed. So I was very angry that that was taken away from them.
I was 20 when I was taken there. So you see, I was lucky because I wasn't as young as the other girls. It was just like a factory. He was running a machine and Ghislaine Maxwell was the one operating it.
Today, we announced charges against Ghislaine Maxwell for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually exploit and abuse multiple minor girls. Maxwell has been taken into custody early this morning and will be presented this afternoon before a magistrate judge in the District of New Hampshire.
It's hugely important that she's found guilty because the world is not a safe place with her in it.
There were many people who knew about this and kept silent.
These people have got away with what they've got away with for many years.
It was about money, it was about power, it was about influence.
People are waking up to the truth.